Say it straight, don't twist it up. No room for games, no fake, no fluff. Every word, just let it land. Speak your mind loud and true. What you say reflects on you. Keep it honest, keep it real. Let the truth be what you feel. No disguise, no hidden deal. Keep it honest, keep it real. No shadows here, no smoke, no screen. What you mean is what you mean. Every layer stripped to bone. Keep it honest, keep it real. Let the truth be what you feel. No disguise, no hidden deal. Keep it honest, keep it real.
Hi.
Hey, bud. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you doing?
It's been a crazy week. Just trying to get my life together.
Yeah, I hear you. It has been a week.
Yeah, man.
I think I felt that way like Tuesday morning. Like it's been a long week on Tuesday, you know?
Yeah.
But happy to be here on this Thursday night. So thank you, all of those that are in the house and who are joining
Yeah,
us
man.
tonight.
They're all jumping in like normal. It's
Yeah.
hopefully going to be a pretty good show. We've got probably one of the most creative, entertaining, and maybe the best looking guy we've had on the cast besides DC. He's up there, man. I tell you what. So I think it's gonna be a good show tonight. Do you want to kind of tell them, timing and what we'll kind of say for the end, or?
So basically, we will bring in our guest. We will have a conversation, learn some really cool things. And then about 10 till, right, we'll sign off. Gary will we'll talk about what's coming next. And then I believe, Gary, you are planning on doing an after the show, like you normally do, if anybody wants to join. And I believe that our guest may even pop onto that if anybody cares to hear a little more inside, hear, a deeper story. That might be the spot. So did I get that right?
Yeah, of course. No, yeah, it's just whatever. Just trying to be laid back, keep it honest, tell kind of an inside story. So just to give a little bit of an introduction, we do have Matt Goldie. He represents Jungle Box Car Care. He was part of some other things before that he'll probably get into. So he just wants to talk about kind of the other side of detailing. There's a lot of brands that pop in, pop out, and he just, he's going to go into that, what he's working on right now, and just kind of how everything's been going. He's going pretty mega viral right now with just excellent storytelling and just kind of talking about his life. And I just kind of thought that was perfect because some of the themes and the things he gets into, it's not always the bright side of all of this, right? Like there's times where you got to pick yourself up by the bootstraps, and I think we got a pretty good lesson on that on the last podcast, and let's just keep it going.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right. Well, without further ado, let's bring him in.
All right.
What's going on, brother?
Guys.
Hey, Matt.
Hey. What's up, everyone? Thanks for having me. Happy to be here.
Glad you are here. Absolutely. How are you tonight?
I'm doing pretty good. Pretty good. Super happy. Happy to be here. I've got a lot of new opportunities coming up, and just really excited for 2026.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a big pivotal moment for us.
Nice. And you're in Colorado, correct? You said?
Yep.
Colorado.
Yeah, I'm a little bit north of Denver, Colorado, but if I said the city, people would just scratch their heads. I'll say it just for the people who might know.
Yeah,
I'm in Frederick.
Just for kicks.
Yeah, I'm in Frederick, Colorado.
Okay.
But Denver's a close city.
Nice. Very cool. I've always wanted to visit there one day.
It's definitely a good place to visit. And believe it or not, it's like the mecca of car care.
Is it really?
there's a lot of stuff that goes on here
because of the company that is near. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Very cool. So shall we get started?
Let's get it, man. So
into it.
Obviously, I know you pretty well. We kind of go way back. Seems like 3 or 4 years now. But, you know, for all the people that are just tuning in tonight, you know, who is Matthew Goldie, man?
Oh, man, that's a funny question. But Matthew Goldie is a hardworking man who's got a ton of ambition. Raised by a single mom, oldest of all girls. So big shoes to fill. Man of the house at a super young age. Started working at 10 years old, going door to door, doing sales for a local newspaper company. A couple years later, I ended up being a top sales guy at Office Max, Office Depot. Once I turned 18, I got into big boy sales, went into car sales, ended up, standing my ground there in a very cutthroat industry. Being 18 years old with a pretty face, you have to stand your ground. You have to, basically just, have that ambition, have that resilience, and the passion for moving the ball forward. So I did that for about 10 years until COVID happened. COVID was really my eye opener. That I'm really good at sales. I've made a lot of people a lot of money, but I've never done it for myself. And so that's kind of what started my journey into car care, is that I said, well, hey, instead of investing in a company or building up a company, what if I just did it myself? And that's kind of how it started. I've been in an entrepreneurial journey and mindset for the last 3.5, 4 years. It's been a rocky road, or roller coaster, some would say. A lot of ups and some downs, but you learn lessons in all of it. So that's how I'm able to be here today, talking with you guys, and able to help your guys' platform as well, being honest and just telling the real sides of what it takes to run a business.
Yeah. And you're still standing, right?
Regardless. Still standing. Yeah.
You're still here. That's what's important.
So I guess before we get into kind of exactly where you're at right now this second, without getting into any details, not trying to start anything like that, but can you just kind of talk about that first viral moment that you had? I learned a little bit about that. Maybe we had kind of forgot. So we kind of hashed that over. Obviously the person that kind of made that first brand is a part of the network we're on now. So just, can you describe kind of what that's like, kind of riding, that momentum as a business owner?
Man,
what it's like to just sell out. And then maybe I think I helped you guys out a little bit too.
You did, man. It was a wild journey. So before I just, jumped into the business, I took 6 months to prepare it. And I think that's I think that's a step that a lot of people skip, is the preparation. One of my managers in my life told me the 5 Ps is proper preparation prevents poor performance. And that was one thing we did right. I just, right off the bat, I took 6 months of learning the car care industry, something I knew very, very little about. And in 2020, 2021, there wasn't a lot of sources to learn about detailing. So I went to YouTube, and the first thing to pop up on YouTube is Car Care Product Awards, or Top Detailing Products of the Year of 2020. And it was by a guy named Pan the Organizer. And so it was pretty cool because I sat there learning about detailing, period. I mean, I sold cars, I've been around cars, I've never had a passion to actually clean them. But this was my entry to it. And so for months I was hunkering down. I was watching Pan's videos. I even have them still in my notes from like the top products that were out before I had even rolled out my company. And I was like, well, if these are the top products, all I have to do is compete with these top products and we should be all right, So it was a nice way to process of elimination, and make sure I've got some really quality products. So I launched my first car care company in June of 2021. And in July of 2021, not even 40 days later, Pan the organizer reaches out to me personally and says, "Hey, I've been hearing a lot about your products. I love the branding. I love the message, and I would love to get my hands on these products and try them out since other people have been recommending them." Pan was in Canada, so I had to scramble up like $50 just to ship the box. So I did it without hesitation, but I sent it out to him, and within, I want to say like 10 days, I was driving around. I look at my phone, it's an alert that Pan the organizer had tagged me in an Instagram post. And I'm like, no way, I almost crashed the car. I'm like, oh my gosh, this isn't something you should be looking at while you're driving. And so I pulled over real quick and I look at it, and he checked the products out. He used them. He took pictures. He showed the results on his Instagram and shared the company. And oh, wow, that was the start of some crazy momentum. Within 48 hours, we were sold out of the inventory that we had, which wasn't a lot, which was a constraint, but we sold out of our first batch, and we had a lot of attention ready for the second batch. So a start of a lot of chaos, but super thankful because, like I said, I didn't even know anything about detailing before watching that guy's videos.
Yeah, that's crazy. We have such a similar story that really resonates with me because Pan is what got me into detailing during COVID. As I was just looking through my YouTube feed and I see these detailing videos, and Pan's videos were, of course, the first ones that I saw, or one of the first ones. And I literally have a book. I even showed Pan this thick, that literally just me taking notes of everything. Right. So that's pretty insane. Pan has inspired a lot of people. So that's awesome to hear. I love that.
Right. Yeah. And after knowing Gary, I could tell the same thing. Like the way Gary's analytical, it's like, yeah, Pan is the perfect guy to watch if you want to learn anything and really deep dive into what you're using, how it's used, the results, great quality content.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I still remember, I think the first time I really got into it was like protecting outside of the car and trying to take things serious was like with that flex wax. It was like around like turtle wax and all that stuff was coming out. And I still remember like watching Pan's videos like frame by frame, like, okay, this is the step that you take now. This is the step you take now. And then it's like doing it and then being like, oh, okay, like I should probably make something similar. It was just so long ago, man. It's so crazy.
It's pretty wild. Yeah. And then you had a lot of pull with our success too. Just a few months later, I want to say it was like 6 months later, we watched you blow up right in front of our eyes.
Yeah.
And you were like, there's only one company that's really supported me before I even had any attention.
Yeah, man. I mean, I made like a wheel and tire video and you guys just happened to like win. I was like, I didn't know what I was doing. I mean, that was back. I actually started out trying to make YouTube videos and like, I don't know, like still haven't really went full bore on the YouTube. But that video did really well. And like you guys had some success from that. And then I ended up like doing TikTok. And then like when we took off on TikTok, I was like, I'm just gonna carry Gorilla with me, dog. like that's pretty much what happened. And yeah, man, that was crazy. It was a lot for me because if anybody hates me being here right now, like Matt has a lot to do with it because he was the first one to let me kind of see what was possible, right? To know that I could help sell a lot of products for a company, that me just saying something on the internet could like help another person. That was just such a huge thing to kind of learn. And the support I got back from it, it was like a lot of validation that I could like show my wife. She's like my biggest critic, so I could show her like, hey, look, my username is on this website and like, I did something cool. And then, it's just kind of all history from there, man. So it was a cool experience. And I'm glad that we've maintained a kind of a friendship, through all that.
Likewise.
So like I said, don't want to get into any of the drama part, but obviously there was a little bit of a break that happened. And then we kind of started another brand. Like I said, not trying to get too dicey or anything like that, but what do you think were some of the contributing factors to kind of that split? Like, if you could do it all over again, is there something that would have changed or?
Yeah, so I think that if I could go back, the main focus would be structure. Structure within the business, structure within the partnership, structure within roles. And that's not just with, the first company, that's with the second company. And really it's one of the things that I'm seeing a lot of car care brands deal with as well and struggle with. Having that structure is the most important part, whether you have the visibility, whether you have the inventory or the money. If you don't have the structure, I think that's probably the most important part.
I like that. So just kind of having a plan. It seems like you were really ready for the moment just with your graphic design skills and your creativeness and your ability to kind of sit back and learn. But then like the structure and maybe the communication a little bit is between like you and a partner kind of made things change a little bit. So maybe some unprepared things. I think you guys realized success like super early, so you didn't really have time to kind of grow slowly. And then it was like, okay, now you're like chasing that, right? Because you guys had, a huge rush at the beginning. And then I feel like me and like other people kind of kept that momentum going. But then it was like, how do we keep that? And I think you were, being the innovator and the creative that you are, continue to kind of build those products out and stuff, and was like just trying to move fast.
Yeah, which could be a problem, if you're trying to move too fast without the structure, regardless of the attention, man. The most important part, like you said, it could even go down to the communication of just how the structure is supposed to be set. You can have a partner, and both of you could have the same vision, but when things arise, different people have, different personal life issues, different people have risk management, right? Like I'm one of those people who's willing to put everything on the line, and for me to expect that out of my partner is not structure, right? So you have to know that your partner is going to have their values, and you're going to have your values, and you need to structure the company based on that. And if you could do it before the fast success, you're going to be great. But I think that's the most important part, is that foundation of making sure, okay, even if this was as big as it could be, is the foundation there? Is anything going to fall through the cracks?
Oh, that's interesting. Would you say that structure changes as business and time kind of progress, or structure stays the same throughout? Because do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do. Absolutely. That's the hard part, is that there becomes a point where you have to look at it and say, hey, is this something where we need to restructure for the next level? And, one partner might want to do that. And it's like, hey, yeah, let's restructure. Let's take it to another level. Another partner might be like, that seems risky. Let's not. And let's just keep the structure that's already there. And so that's why, an alignment on the partnership is a very critical aspect of it.
Can I ask a question? When the first company that you were in, and if I missed this, I really apologize. Was there already a friendship there? Was there already a relationship with the partner that you had, or were you kind of strangers that evolved, into a friendship? How was that union?
Yeah, so I just remember growing up, watching my dad go through a business partnership, and the first thing that he said was, don't go into business with your friends. Don't do it. And, maybe I thought that was an advantage, was that my partner wasn't a friend. My partner was a partner, someone that I had known, but not someone that I would say we had a friendship with. And who knows if that was a strength or a weakness. I don't really focus on that as much, as more as like there were other things I think that that kind of were main factors.
Yeah. Cool.
So you had a lot of stuff that you were juggling at the time. I mean, I think you're always juggling a lot, bro. So you've shared a lot of that stuff online and stuff like that. And I wouldn't ask you to get into all the personal stuff, but how do you feel like, how hard is it to kind of balance all the stuff going on outside, of detailing, and then you're running this business, you have this public image. Like, what is that like, bro?
That was wild. So for me, it was really interesting because I've always been good on social media. When I was a teenager, I was doing raps and music videos, and I was all over YouTube. And then I got married at 18 years old, and my wife was like, we're not going to do social media. We don't need to be fighting over it. And I pretty much had locked myself away from social media until COVID happened. And we pretty much saw like, hey, there's some potential here where maybe we can use social media to make some money. And so that's kind of what got me started getting into social media. But I don't think I've had my accounts longer than like 2019. And so I started doing the social media, and then I started the brand on social media. And I think that was one of the points in my personal life that put a lot of pressure on my relationship. So, being married at 18 and having a way of life, and then at 27 wanting to change everything because, hey, there's this new vision. Had talked the structure through with my wife, but that was another structure thing where two of us can have the same vision, but different risk management, and just how to get there. Sometimes people don't like being risky. And that's one thing that I've learned over the years is, okay, maybe we need to stop being so risky. Maybe we need to build some structure and not worry about being the first to the race, but just being one to actually finish and turn it into a marathon. So that was one thing that, really put a lot of pressure on my personal life. I started this business on Instagram. We really didn't do that much in person. It was pretty much direct to consumer, all social media based. I had people telling me, you need to be on TikTok. And for the first 4 months, I was a TikTok refuser. I totally was against it. I was like, who knows what another country's doing with our information? I was one of those guys until one of my Uber riders, she was like, well, hey, if you're worried about people having your information, just wait till you find out what Facebook has on you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, you're right. Someone's already got my info. I might as well put it on TikTok. And then I think within 90 days on TikTok, we're over, 10,000 followers. We got 1 million views, a lot of success, a lot of attention. And my wife wasn't with that program. She's like, hey man, I don't see you that much anymore. You're up all night, stressed out till 3 and 4 in the morning. And then you wake up at 6 and you go out and you're just busy and you never have time for me. And I'm like, hey, it's only going to be a short span that I've got to focus like this. In a couple years, we'll have a team of people that'll be running the business for us, and we'll be able to, be on a beach and enjoy our time. But again, getting your partner to see the path to the vision instead of just the vision is an important thing. So 6 months into me starting my business, me and my wife separated. And that was the start to pretty much the chaos. I didn't let it stop me from running the business. I was at car shows the very next day. I called my partner. I told him, hey, we need to get all of our chemicals out of the garage today. Like we have to, just keep this moving. and then ran into the business partnership issues as well. So I was battling business and a personal divorce at the same time, and also a couple months of battling not seeing my kid and going through custody, and yeah, man, a lot of weight on my shoulders at a moment, but nothing that I wasn't able to figure out how to get through. Can't say it enough that my sister is the only reason I'm here today. I've used a lot of handouts. I've had a lot of help, and nothing compares to what my sister has been able to do for me at the times where I have nobody to call. She's always right there, and she's able to support me, and I'm just really thankful to have her. That's for sure.
Awesome.
That's amazing, man. So one of the things, first of all, I just appreciate you sharing that with everybody. I know you've kind of done this in bits and pieces, but I know that's like just a lot of heavy stuff, kind of covering all those, topics, man. I mean, you still live it today and still doing some of that recourse. But like getting back to the car detailing part, right, to try to ease the mood just a little bit. One of the things that I've kind of known you for is obviously being super creative, obviously being great at graphic design, planning, organic uh, 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 movement, right? Organic social media, not doing paid ads. Like everything you guys did for the most part was obviously, the pan thing just coming out of nowhere was crazy. But like that was because you had a following somehow already and like was pushing towards that. So I call you like an innovator. When it comes to your detailing products and stuff like that, do you think that people like to go towards innovation or they like to do what's kind of like familiar?
I think people love innovation. I think this industry is an industry that's been lacking innovation. That's where I saw the potential in the car care industry. At 26, 27 years old when I started it, I had never gone to the store to buy a detailing product. The reason was because it wasn't appealing to me. You walk in and it's a brown bottle with a 1980s classic car on it, and it's got Times New Roman font, and I'm like, boring. But then something clicked in my head, and I was like, whoa, there's so much potential there. Because like, what if I could make a brand that appeals to people like me who want to see something cool, creative, colorful, and man, was I right about that. I feel like, there was a couple brands doing cool designs and stuff, but I feel like we really came in and shook up the industry to where it was like, if you had a boring label, you're not even selling products anymore, because you're going to need to go back to the drawing board and figure out how to make your products look like they're, in our new era of car care.
I love that. So now fast forwarding, shoot, man, 6 years, almost probably. What's the car care industry missing today? So obviously we have this amazing opportunity to build honest car care, and I've called you a lot. What is the industry missing, bro? What do we need?
Um, I'm one of the guys that just thinks it needs to be more fun. I've got a couple ideas that I'm just like, man, if I could just get this out there, this would be so much fun. One of my favorite things is like, pulling in the kids to it. That's one of my favorite things you do, Gary. You're always got your kids involved. And that was one thing for me too. I always have my kid involved. And so I want to make sure that the products are safe for kids to be involved. So I'm not using acids and stuff like that. I want to see that, the industry turn into a family thing, because, as much as it's a great therapy for a guy, it's even more of a bond between a guy and his kids. That's just one of those things that dads do. And moms do it too.
I
And
was
when they
gonna
do
say,
it,
or a mom and her kids.
and moms when they do it, like, I'm no shame in there. And like that is one of the biggest things that I do with my brands, is I focus on including both men and women, because yeah, there's a passion for cleaning cars regardless of gender. and it should be fun no matter what. It shouldn't be tailored to like a dude, and it shouldn't be tailored to just a chick. Like it should be tailored, I think, to the whole family. And so yeah, I think a couple fun products instead of it just being a job would totally take a car care company to the next level.
Yeah.
I like that. Let me ask you a question, just right off the top. How you feel about colored foam, bro?
Colored foam is amazing, man. Colored foam's great. That was one of the things that actually sent me in a freaking spiral, man. I was working with a potential new private label company, and they had colored foam. So I was like, sweet, we're gonna try this colored foam. And I flew out to California, dude. Flew out there like last minute. I'm gonna come out there. I'm gonna tour this place. We're gonna try this foam. We're gonna make some content. This is gonna be crazy. And man, everything did not work out the way I thought it was gonna work out. The colored foam wasn't made to the specifications I was asking for, because I didn't want just another colored foam. And so yeah, expectations just weren't met, and that's kind of why I've been on pause. But yeah, I think colored foam is one really fun product to have out there, and soap is something everyone's willing to try.
Yeah. Well, Christy really loves colored foam, so that's just like where we're at on it. She's like a pioneer of the colored foam. Can't get her to stop talking about it.
I don't mind colored foam. My fear with colored foam is the gimmicky thing. Like I think colored foam would be cool with intention. You know what I mean? Like if it's a 2 pH system that you would know, your alkaline or your acid based on the color. I think that would be cool. I do like colored foams, and Novacar has a few. But again, I'm the girl. Maybe I don't know if I'm not willing to take a risk, or maybe I am. I just think there has to be intention. I don't know what you think about that, but that's my thought. But I do like it. It's pretty. It's fun.
Yeah, it's fun. And fun could be the intention.
Color foam. I guess you're right. Yeah. Right. That makes sense.
So
I think that was one thing that stood out with my brands. Most people that would connect with it, I'd say most of them are loyal for life. I think even though we've had some trials and errors, that I think we'd all still be a big family again. But that was one of the things, was that everyone said, wow, your brand is just fun. It's just something I can connect to, and it doesn't feel like I'm just buying a detailing product. It feels like I'm buying into, some fun event or fun experience.
I think that's what's so crazy, man, and that's why I hate that. I still hate it today, because like you were legitimately one of the few people that was like started this whole live selling thing. Like you're so far ahead of your time, bro. Like
it was wild.
I just want to get you back on that, man. Like,
right.
So that being said, bro, like if somebody handed you the funding and freedom today, like, is there a certain idea you would go after? Is there a certain, what do you think is missing? How do we get Matt Goldie back in the car care game?
Yeah, man. So that is one thing that I've been searching for. Had a lot of conversations, but never really with someone that matches the partnership. And that's been my hesitation, is I'm not just looking for a partner. I'm looking for the right partner, someone who has an alignment and not just sees the same vision at the end of the day. But if I was able to find that partner and find that funding, I think first and foremost is a centralized distribution car care platform that people can order from and expect their products in 2 days, like every single time. I think that's one of the most important parts about being in the entire country versus just staying localized to a city, is people want your products quickly. They see your product, they actually want it now. And unfortunately, due to shipping, you've got to make it last a couple days. But that would be the biggest thing, is utilizing that new TikTok shop platform, and the store that we've already got would be would be one of the first things that we do, just to make sure that our products are in our customers' hands right away. And another thing too is doing this all myself, right? Man of many hats. I'm the sales guy. I'm the shipper. I'm the guy who's putting the chemicals in the bottles and labeling them and doing everything, and then making shirts and making stickers and going to car shows. Like there's all these things that I was doing. I would not do it all myself again. I would make sure that I am giving the task to employees that are taking the task just as serious as me, so that I can, make sure that everything's being handled. Because, one of the big things that I've had.
Uh-oh.
Hold
We
on.
lost him. Hopefully he can come back in.
Yeah, man, he was right on something too.
I know.
I bet it was like internet or something.
Yeah.
See if we can bring him in. All right, so we'll wait for him to pop up. So, what do you think so far, Christy? I know you were this is week 2 of you being back from vacation and everything, or not from little mini vacation. You're never on vacation with 4 kids. How you doing over there?
I'm good. He's super interesting. And I was just about to tell him, as we spoke backstage years ago, and I think he said it had to have been at least 3. It might have even been 3 or 4, but he was one of the first lives I jumped into when it came to, like boxing products, people's orders online and all of that, before any of that was done. And it was enjoyable. He was very cool to watch. He was all entertainment. And his branding, as I told him, was what caught my eye. Matt, I was just saying how I used to be in your lives as we talked backstage. You were, your branding caught my eye, and you were so much fun. As you
Thank you.
Orders, and you did a few giveaways and things. I never won anything, but
I know that was the hard part. I wanted to try to make it to where someone was winning something, and not it going to like the same person over and over and over. I'm sorry, I just got cut off. Apparently, when you get a phone call, this thing just kicks you out of the live. So I apologize.
Yeah, it's all good, brother.
But that's where I was at with it. Was pretty much just making sure distribution is first and foremost. Available to everyone within a day to 2 days.
It's such
the inventory.
Yeah, of course, man. It's such a huge thing. Like just packing orders, like you said, be ready for that moment, but you weren't ready to sell out of your inventory like on day 1. It's like, oh my gosh, I made all this money. But then it's like, now I have to pack all this stuff, and like there's expectations and stuff. So I know you made a lot of customers happy. How many of those guys you still talking to? Like if you were, came back tomorrow, you think you could get the band back together and just like go off now? Or what do you think?
That was the best part about it. So, I mean, the most customers that I think I've physically come across is about 2,000. And that's like, we did great. And all we were doing was scratching the surface. Mm-hmm. Like there's still to this day so much potential. And that's what I see. But yeah, I think that if I was able to come back with a partnership and make sure that my inventory is set, and the next 6 months I'm not going to run out of inventory, I could see us having at least 1,000 people supporting the brand. And I'm talking to at least 50 of these people, like on a regular basis, man. Like they know my personal ins and outs. We're touching base, and a lot of them are like, anything I could do, let me know. Please let me know how I could help. I want to be a distributor. I got one guy in Canada. He's like, let me be your Canadian supplier. And just all these connections. They've seen the entire story. All right, like. I know I didn't get to update them every moment, but they get the picture. I went through a divorce. I went through, my business stuff. I was battling custody, and I'm back in a position now where it's comfortable to talk about. It's not something that I'm running from.
That's why I'm just so proud of you, bro, for that, because I know it's hard.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And, thankfully you've always been there to answer my calls when it's hard for me to go talk to anyone. It's like, at least Gary knows, right? Like, Gary put tires on my car when I was down in Georgia. Like, this
Yeah.
guy really cares about me, man. And there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people. It's funny that strangers in another state will support you more than the people you've grown up with, you know.
Right. You know, it's one of the things, bro, where that's just part of it, man. And I was just so happy to see you and everybody that you're with. And it was just a cool, man. It's always nice to be able to meet somebody that you talk to all the time. So we got about 5 or 6 minutes, you know,
Actually,
before we
can I
transition.
can I
Yeah.
interject really quick, Gary? I
Yes,
had a question, if you will.
yes,
Um,
ma'am. Sorry.
I need to stop saying that, if you will. It really drives me nuts that I say that. Sorry. Drink every time you hear me say that, especially in my YouTube videos. Anyway, you, Matt, have dealt with, you know, a business and it kind of going south. And what is something that if you were starting over today, you would change based on your experience thus far in terms of like business and structure? Is there anything you would do different than you did the first time around? You know, is there something
Yeah.
that you already know straight off the bat, like this needed to change then? This is
Yeah, that's what I was going into a little bit when I got cut off on that call. I was delegating the tasks. You know, being there to pack orders is something that an owner should do regardless. But being the only person packing orders all the time, turning around, making the shirts, making the stickers, designing the labels, you know, like I know what I'm good at, right? I'm good at the branding. I'm good at the selling. I'm going to be the face of the company. I'm going to find some help. I think it's pretty easy. I just don't know why I know why. I never had the funding to have help, right?
Yeah.
That's an important part, and that's why, you know, being a business owner, you have to wear so many hats because the funds have to be available. But that would be the first thing is hiring a team of people to help me handle car shows, to help me handle shipping orders, and inventory management would be very critical. One thing that I was doing is I was buying a drum, bottling it, selling it, and I was calculating all of the bottles and inventory in my head. I was using Shopify a little bit to lean on, but
Yeah.
that was probably my biggest mistake is because I had all this attention from Pan, the organizer who shouted me out and to this huge audience. I've just been chasing my tail. It's like
Yeah.
we get a product in and we sell out. And then we focus on that, and then we turn around and one of our other products is sold out. And we don't know that because I'm not managing the inventory properly.
Yeah.
You know, and the inventory isn't just, you know, tire shine, right? Like it's the bottle, the sprayer, the cap, the label, the boxes, the box fillings, right? Like
But the thing
there's a
is,
lot.
like I'm not gonna say too much, but you were battling where the hell do I store all this stuff? One of the things that I'm dealing with right now is like, do I take a job in Maryland or Texas? Well, what the hell do I do with my 10 by 30 storage unit? Right. And especially when you were dealing with a major life transition. And like I said, you don't have to get into that anymore, but there's a whole storage unit full of stuff somewhere, whether it's a basement or garage, like all these small business owners. I don't think people think about that sometimes.
Yeah. And that was another part. Yeah, I started in my garage. I went to a storage unit, got kicked out of the storage unit on TikTok Live, went to a co-packing warehouse. And honestly, that is a good location. I don't know if you've looked into those yet, but they have these co-working warehousing where it's like this
Yeah.
big warehouse, but they put all these walls up and give you your own little size. That's what was working for us. I think, you know, if I had the right team and the capital to make this happen again, I think we could be a leader in the car care industry easily.
I know you can, bro. Like you're still a leader. You know, the fact that you said you still have 50 people, you know, that you talk to, I have no doubt. Once you get fully back where you want to be, no doubt, bro. So Christy, you wanna jump into maybe like a little rapid fire? Well, we don't have to hit all of them if you want, and if not, we can just kind of transition and whatever, brother.
Yeah. Rapid fire. Matt, are you ready?
Oh no. Wild West.
Yeah, man.
Here we go. All right. Coffee or energy drink?
Energy drink.
Do you have a favorite one?
Red Bull, yellow
Oh
Red Bull.
man, dude.
Sugar free or no?
No.
Oh.
If you're gonna go with an energy drink, you might as well get the sugar. Like nothing's good in there.
Okay. How about build solo or with a partner?
Definitely with a partner, making sure that we're aligned and can work through to get to the vision.
Okay. How about money or momentum?
Money. Momentum, I could find it tomorrow. The money's the hardest thing to get.
That makes sense. Okay. Talent or timing?
Timing.
Time is always of the essence. I feel like, right. I think, Gary, you might have said this backstage. I don't remember, but time is really a factor, like in
It's everything.
10% of our lives, isn't it?
Really
Let's see. One thing you know now you didn't then.
That I can do it. It was a wonder if I could do it. Can I make this happen? Can I bring my dreams to reality? And I can. So now it's just doing it again.
Oh, I like that.
What's the most underrated skill in business?
Relationship management. I think being able to, keep everyone on the same page while handling pressure is probably the most critical skill needed.
Yeah, I love that, bro. So one last for you. By this time next year, I blank.
By this time next year, I will be a face of a car care brand that you will see on TikTok Live.
I love that, bro. I'll be one of your first customers. I know that you got a long line of people, but we'll be there, bro. Maybe we can even do a collab down the line.
Let's do it. Yeah, that's my thing, man. I'm always about that collaboration.
Hey, yeah, that's another thing you're an innovator on, bro. Like just crazy, man. So, Christy, do you have anything else?
No, again, just I appreciate you coming on and being so willing to share, your story, some intimate moments and your, expertise. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Absolutely.
I appreciate you guys giving me the opportunity to come on here. I know you guys have been working hard on this platform, keeping things real, keeping things honest, and I love that vision. I think there's a lot of potential for you guys, and I can't wait to see it.
Thank you. I
Definitely appreciate that, brother.
Yeah, of course.
All right, man. So I'll drop you a link here in a little bit if you got some more time, and we'll figure it out from there.
Awesome. Sounds good. Thank you guys so much.
Yeah.
Bro.
Bye.
Phew. Heavy. There's a lot to this car care game. I mean, you know that.
Yeah. There definitely is. And I think, the biggest takeaway is, when you're building a brand or building a business, there is a fine line between that, business and what would you call it? Pleasure, like business and personal, and finding that happy medium. And like he said, somebody drink, because I'm going to say, be willing to, keep that structure and evolve when need be. I also think taking risks is good. I don't know. There's a lot to unpack there, a lot to think about, but I appreciated everything you brought tonight. So yeah.
It's just a really good experience. So, all right. So let's kind of transition into what we put out this week. How do you feel about the wheel and tire cleaners?
Well, I already am having a good time if I'm doing anything wheels and tires. It's always fun. I enjoyed the testing this week. There was clear winners, in my testing. I think that at least one of our winners was pretty, was cohesive across the board. I think we both saw that. I'm excited to bring out, the next round of content where, we are kind of narrowing it down, which is exciting. 'Cause I really think that we are we're getting somewhere, and I feel confident in saying we are almost there, like right there.
Yeah.
And being able to, kind of show that and show the process, I'm excited for that. So what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I feel the same. I cannot wait for you to there's one or two more products that you haven't really used yet, or at least through the video. So I'm very excited for you to try. I think it would product one for my video. I think I can't wait to see that against
Oh yeah. Okay.
some of your other ones.
Yeah.
And then I think that so I saw a couple of comments today, like in the Facebook for the House of Rags, I think it was. And one of the things that somebody said was there's a mention of like, why not do like a 20-to-1 product or something like that, or just like a highly versatile kind of cleaner. And although I didn't like the foam on product 3, I think that could be like a really nice versatile kind of do everything cleaner. So even though I didn't highlight that one at the end with the foamer, I think that there's something there for sure. Like we might mess around and get 2 or 3 different kind of scenarios here, because that's just up to us to kind of talk to the manufacturers and do what we need to do. So I'm kind of putting you on the spot because we haven't talked about that a lot, but I was just very impressed. We are really getting through a lot of different products and companies, and it's just been a great time.
Yeah, I do feel, I mean, in the beginning, I feel like things were a little stagnant, a little stale. Somebody is asking here, or Jay is asking, what are we realizing now that we didn't think about before starting a brand? And I think, talking about time, that is exactly what I would say was a big wake up call. And I'm not talking about just the time it takes to create a video. I'm talking about the time it takes to speak to brands, to hear a reply, to get some samples, have those things, you know what I mean? Having conversations that are cohesive in a man, in a timely manner. Just time. Time is, it's huge in every aspect of the word. And I don't think that that's something that I really thought about. I knew it was going to take time, but in terms of all the logistics in between, definitely eye-opening. So I don't know.
Yeah, I think time is a huge one for me. I had kind of a revelation today, now that I've almost switched my schedule back to, a traditional one. It is so much harder to like get in touch with you, right? Because I think it was like 8:00 last night you messaged me, and I'm like, I'm in bed, bro. But then I'm like, okay, it's, I got to wake up. So it, and we talked about some different things like that. So, and I didn't say I'm in bed, bro, but like,
I had just gotten home. It was just,
Yeah. And you just had a late night last night. So, I never would have thought I'd be where I'm at right now. So it's very interesting. There's not a scenario. Like I was thinking about it in my head, like, how do I get more content out? How do I, what do I need to do? Well, maybe if I wake up at 6 a.m, but then I'm like, okay, if I wake up at 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., I got to get the kids. So it's just a lot of different things I'm kind of going through and juggling. And it's just critical that I hone in on like time management and things like that. And just always make time for you, man. Cause like you have about a 3-hour window that, for us to communicate. Plus your breaks in the daytime. But I try not to bother you too much. My mom was a teacher, and I know that you sometimes you need that like decompression time. And the last thing I want to do is like hit you with a, hey, I got a critical question, so.
Yeah. No, it's again, it just depends on the day, man. You just never know. Today I thought I was going to have a break, and then there ended up being a fight, outside of my classroom. So that kind of put a damper on things as I was, talking to the campus police officer and whatnot. So, some days things just happen out of your control, and you just have to run with it. Somebody was asking about that wheel and tire that hit my throat. Man, choked me out. It took a minute though. It was weird. It was like I don't know if I just like, breathed it in. That was definitely an acid.
It was an acid. I don't know what happened. I think we had a miscommunication,
Well,
but
we might have, because I didn't see any other product from that brand that wasn't an acid for a wheel and tire.
yeah,
So anyway, it doesn't matter. I tested it. I hated it. Never
it
use
was
it again.
terrible. Yeah. Yeah.
No,
So
I'm not-
yeah, it was. I was
'cause
so worried about you because I was
yeah.
like, that's an acid, that's an acid, that's an acid. She's really close. She's spraying a lot. This is not gonna go good. But that's just, that's part of the communication thing. So
Yeah. Anyway, so that product is definitely not in the lineup of products that we're looking at.
so detailing with AK, what is your favorite product to put through your foam cannon? Obviously snow foam. I got a video coming out tomorrow that I might have a new favorite, man. I'm having too much fun. Like, I got off of the colored foam thing, and then we had a meeting and it came up again. And so I started doing a little testing, a little dabble, and I'm having a great time. Like,
Yeah.
honestly, yesterday I went to go test a product and just sprayed the car, and I ended up just cleaning the whole car. Like, it was just a good time, getting back in that mental space and just trying to figure life out.
Yeah. I also obviously I love anything. I love foam, period. So anything I can put through a foam cannon,
Mhm.
I'm all for it. Being able to foam like a, spray sealant even, like Yum Plus, amazing. So I like anything that foams, especially if it works, if there's performance there. Yeah, so that is a good thought though. What do you like to put through your foam cannon and go from there? I like that. I do know that next is soap for us. I think, can we say that confidently, Gary?
Yeah. Now, if it's going to be an active snow foam or whatever, I think we're still figuring that out. But yeah, I'm excited. Had a conversation with one of our kind of product suppliers, and we'll kind of see where we're at. And I don't know if we've like really told everybody about this, but we did have Thor blending is going to get featured in a lot of this, and I think that's kind of be like what that final test is.
Yeah.
Once all that stuff kind of arrives, okay, we have this kind of solution here. Are we going to put it against Thor blending or whatever?
Yeah.
So, or do we expand the family a little bit? Who knows? I mean, it's just been a great experience, and once again, I know you feel like this, but I've been so blessed that just have this opportunity to like spend the time doing this, because I don't know where my mind would be at without getting to talk to you every day, getting to talk to the Thor family. It's been a really good time, good timing, man.
Yeah, I definitely appreciate it. And if people don't already know, I love this community. I mean, I cannot speak highly enough of the people that I am surrounded with, the people in the chats. This community is absolutely amazing. The Thor community is like no other. So that makes me so happy to be here. You know what I mean? Not just about what we're creating, but the people that we are creating things for and who are on this journey with us. That is something to me. So again, I appreciate every one of you.
Yeah, definitely exciting stuff. I'm looking forward. I think we have like a noon my time phone call tomorrow. So I'm definitely excited.
Well, actually,
Uh-oh.
it was changed. I'll message you. It changed last minute. So
no worries. Okay, sorry for bringing it up.
Again, see things that happen,
Dynamic, flexible, always ready. That's the military guy, man. So we'll be all right. So
I'll let you know.
Well, look at it, man. 59, getting you out of here. So many times you come home from work, you come straight on this podcast, having 8, so
that's okay.
Timing, man. We got it. I think we're getting good, bud.
We're good. Yeah, I do appreciate it. Again, appreciate everyone that is with us on Thursday nights. Everybody who is on this journey, thank you. And please stick with us, because like I said and keep saying, I feel like we got we're on a roll, and I feel like we have some good things coming. So it's exciting. Definitely exciting.
Let me do one thing real quick. So we've got John in the chat. We got a Rick in the chat. Like I'm learning. We getting them. My God.
There you go.
I'm just a student right now. So love you guys, man. For real. Thank you for the continued support. And anything else from you, Miss Christy?
No, other than we'll see you on the next one.
See you on the next one, guys.
Bye.
Love you. Oh.